don't know the rest. I have no idea what the rest is, but y'all know that little horn from camp. What's up, y'all? Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. It is August 7th at 6:08, and we are coming together for our camp assembly. This is our first camp assembly, guys. This is our weekly kind of like group meeting point, come together. That's why I call it a camp assembly for everyone enrolled in, or everyone who registered for Camp Nursing School. All right, so Camp Nursing School is our new campaign to help anybody that's going into nurse, like any incoming nursing students, really be able to get their confidence and really answer their questions so they can feel excited about starting nursing school instead of like panicky, and B, like I said, confident in their nursing ability, their nursing student ability. I'm looking at your emails. So that's why we started Camp Nursing School. But like I said, every week we're going to meet on Sundays. It's going to be 4 weeks of Camp Nursing School. And today is the end of our first week. We started on the 5th. So the first week was a little short. It was only like a couple days, but that's just to kind of offset it. The rest of the weeks will be at least 7 days long. So we just had about like three days of camp activities and kind of getting your feet wet as far as what to expect as within Camp Nursing School. All right, so once again, Camp Nursing School, it's a free event. They won't all, like every day we're not going to go live, but we're going to have our Tease Tuesday, our NCLEX Jeopardy, and our camp assemblies that will be live. Okay. Now, as far as emails, everyone that signed up or everyone that registered should have gotten a slew of emails. I think you should have gotten like 3 or maybe like 4 at this point. A lot of people received them but didn't open them because it went into their spam, promotions, updates, whatever the case may be. And then once I say, hey, have you checked your spam or have you checked this particular folder? They're like, oh yeah, I see it. So make sure you check your, especially if you have Gmail. If you have Gmail, check your updates and your promotions more so than like your junk. I know it definitely goes into like updates for Gmail users. Definitely. So make sure you check that. All right. You should have gotten your welcome email, your email about the week 1 camp schedule, the email about your learning style, as well as the homework links and where to submit it. And then you should have gotten an email not too long ago reminding you guys about camp assembly and what to expect during camp assembly, along with like a refresh and a reminder of where to submit your activities. All right, so by this time you should have completed 2 camp activities. The first one was create and submit a vision board. So I told you guys to like go to Canva. That one's the easiest and like the freest thing to do, but go to Canva and create a 1-page vision board. Okay, and we did that because I want you guys, now the topic and the theme of week 1 is preparing for nursing school. Okay, so preparing for nursing school, I want you guys to be prepared not only like supply wise, like, oh, make sure you have this, blah, blah, but I want you guys to be prepared mentally as well. So I'm sure you guys have heard by now, but going through nursing school is going to be, it's definitely going to be an adjustment, but I don't want to scare you guys. And I don't want you guys to get scared from other people's, like reports and accounts of their experiences. I want you guys to take those individual stories that you've heard and use that to advantage so you can better prepare yourself. Okay, so when times get rough and you tend to forget, like, why the hell am I even doing this? That's why I want you guys to create that vision board so you guys can visually see and be reminded of your why. This is why you're doing it. Whether or not your goal is, to be debt free, or your goal is to, have a stable career, family, whatever it is, I want you guys to put that in your vision board. Okay. And when you create that 1-page vision board, just go ahead and send it to me. via that link. And just in case y'all didn't get that link, let me drop it here, right here in the comments really quick. 1 second. Wait for it. Wait for it. All right, so this is the link for Camp 1. Week 1. All right, that's the week. That's for week 1. Let me go through y'all comments. Let me see what y'all saying. Hi y'all. Hi, doll Stacy. Yeah, looking spam love. Go and see what y'all saying. Hey, it's Kay. Pops to let you know I passed my NCLEX. Congratulations, new nurse. Who this? Period. Awesome job, it's Kay. Congratulations. All right. Use my NCLEX Arcade and pass. That's so great to see. I need to add that to mine. I didn't put my why. Yes, make sure you put your why, because I want you guys to be reminded of why the hell y'all doing this, just in case y'all go through some tough nights, long nights, and you're like, oh my gosh, I just need a little reminder. So it will definitely help. All right, so that was you can totally redo it if you want to. You can have multiple submissions to that link. Okay. And then the second one was learning what your camp style, discovering your learning style. Okay. Like I said in the email, one of the biggest mistakes that I primarily made going into nursing school was not discovering my learning style. So I think I went like a good month or so, maybe 2, going in and automatically assuming that, I'm just going to be a read/write type of learning style, because, we had our textbooks, we had all these expensive ass, big ass, thick ass textbooks, and that just was not my learning style. And I just thought, okay, well, it just is what it is. I just got to do what I have to do, but that's not the way that's not how that works at all. So you have your textbooks and you have whatever else, but that does not mean that that's the best way and the most optimal way for you to study and learn. So I learned that the hard way. So I wanted to just come and make sure you guys learn from my mistakes and actually figure out what your learning style is prior to you starting nursing school, or at least if y'all started this week or this month at all. At least you won't go like a month or 2 like I did, so you'll have that knowledge beforehand. Okay, so I gave you guys in that email, I gave you guys a reading of the 4 core learning styles. And if you are this learning style, here's what you can do while you're studying, while you're learning in class, to better optimize your studying and your learning. So giving what those definitions for those 4 core learning styles was, I went ahead and gave you guys another link. I'm just put it right here. Boop. Another link where you guys all right, cool. Where you guys had to just tell me what your learning style was. That one's like a 10-seconder. You just have to, after you read the material and after you read the email, you would just see which one resonated most with you and then choose. You can have more than one learning style. I'm a visual learner primarily, and then I am also kinesthetic/tactile. I like to do things as well. All right. So those are my 2 learning styles. I want you guys to tell me what your learning styles are, and then next week or this upcoming week, we're gonna dive deeper into that. Okay, let me see what y'all said. That's why my mind operates jumbled. The life of 2 and under 7. I started in the summer and really struggled in my first semester. Yeah, and that's not too uncommon, because going into nursing school, especially if you were coming from like a different college, or if you switched majors or whatever the case, hell, if you're coming out of high school, it's a different type of environment. The pace is much faster. The material you have to cover and remember and actually comprehend is much larger. And the time in which you have to digest that material and comprehend it and really be able to retain it is much shorter. Okay, so that is essentially what makes nursing school so difficult, because you have to get used to this new style of studying, learning, all that stuff. And unless you are just like Superwoman, Superman, in regards to like academics, it's going to take people like a little learning period, a little learning curve to learn how to learn within nursing school. So that's why I want to come on with some common tips and some things that I did, and I know other people that did, that definitely helped them within their nursing school experience and help them kind of adapt to the environment a little better, a lot faster, with better grades. Okay, so I let you go. Okay, perfect. Let me look and see what y'all saying. Yes, please help. I want to know some techniques instead of stressing myself on how to read everything. Right. So nervous. I did my board sent to you last night. Awesome, awesome. Great. I can't wait to look at the rest of your boards. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and get into kind of number one. Well, agenda number one. All right. Now let me go ahead and put up our agenda so you guys kind of know what we're going to be doing today. There we go. All right. So our camp assembly agenda. Y'all probably can't see. My bad. How to prepare for nursing school. All right, we're going to talk about what to expect. We're going to talk about common myths. And then we're going to have like a live little Q&A just in case I missed something or you guys have a question. Little reminder, camp activities due. We just talked about this. Create and submit your vision board and then let me know what's your learning style. Okay, we're also going to announce the 3 winners of our free Nurse Life Digital Planner. All right, 3 of you guys, and you guys don't have to do anything as far as applying to this giveaway. We chose it randomly from the people that signed up and registered to be in camp nursing school. All right, and then just another reminder, week 2 starts tomorrow. That'll be 8/8 Monday, and it'll go all the way to Sunday. All right, we're always gonna end the week off with a camp assembly. Okay, and then can you do some med-surg questions, please, or do you have anything for med-surg? I do have things for med-surg. And then, just in case you guys did not get your camp nursing school supplies, aka your study guides, today is the last day to get 60% off. Okay, so use code CAMP60 and get those select study guides for 60% off. Now the select study guides are all the big shots and the best sellers. All right, we have our ultimate nursing school bundle, first semester bundle, NCLEX Arcade, and even the T's bundle, just in case you guys are pre-nursing students and still need to take your entrance exam. But if you want, so the first semester and the ultimate is going to be like your biggest thing. If you are interested in the ultimate nursing school bundle, that includes the first semester. So don't get both. Do not get both. Get one or the other. All right. So let me go ahead and get into, if y'all have any questions, obviously put them right down here. Okay. All right. So number 1. Let's talk about what to expect in nursing school. All right. So a lot of people, they have their worries and their fears and they're super anxious because they don't exactly know what to expect. You know, they have different accounts and they read through, you guys probably read through maybe my experience, some other person like Morgan's experience, some other nurse like on social media or another nurse that you know, you probably hear their accounts of how their experience went, but everyone has a different experience. Take that knowledge, use it so you can prepare yourself, okay? One of the biggest reasons why people are anxious and nervous, coming from anxiety queen number 1 over here, is because they do not know what to expect. Okay, fear of the unknown is a very real thing. Britt says, everyone has me so worried. I've been looking forward to this forever, and now I'm like, see, don't. Definitely look forward to it. You got into nursing school because you're a badass motherfucker, period. And that just means that, you know, you can now choose to take this experience and make it into your own. If you asked me this, I've been out of school for 8 years. If you would have asked me about my nursing school experience in the first semester versus like the third semester, night and day. First semester, I was so miserable. I was so miserable because I did not know what to do. I didn't know how to study, none of that stuff. So I was just like, getting beat from all angles. But once I decided to take my experience and make it my own, aka I learned what my learning style was. I'm a visual learner, so I have to draw, or I have to associate images with and colors with what I'm learning. Hence, I have to make this stuff entertaining for me, or else I will not retain it. I will not retain it. And because you have to retain so much, a lot of the material that I was taking in, I had to just go ahead and just almost like remix it to make it coincide with how my learning style was, so that I can better understand and retain it. Okay, so that's why I want you guys to tell me what your learning style was, so that just in case, you know, like different professors or the content is presented to you in some other way that's not your learning style, you'll know how to then take it, remix it a little bit, and present it to yourself in a way that's going to make you remember it and actually retain it and want to actually study it and learn it. Okay. But yeah, that negativity is so huge and big, especially with with everything going on as far as, like nursing shortages, or the abuse that nurses go through. A lot of people will use that and take that and get discouraged, and I don't want you to do that. Okay. So that's why I want to come and tell you guys kind of the facts, so that you can differentiate what's facts versus what's someone else's story. Just because it's their story and how it turned out for them does not mean that's how it's going to be for you. Okay, so do not count yourself out before you even get into the ring. Okay. All right, so what to expect in nursing school? Boop, boop, boop. How many of you guys are starting your first semester either this month, next month, or soon, period? If you are about to start nursing school for the first time, like this is about to be your first day, let me know. Drop first timer down in the comments, okay? If you are just returning back, whether it's your second, third, fourth, whatever semester, let me know that you are a returning student, okay? Now, so for all my first timers, you just got your acceptance letter. I just make sure y'all hear me. Okay, cool. But yeah, you just got your acceptance letter. And you got maybe your syllabus. You went to orientation. Now the days are counting down, and you're just like, oh shit, I'm about to start nursing school. Like, what the hell? What am I going to expect? So yes, the first year of nursing school. Let me say semester. Let's go with semester first. And then we'll talk about the first year. But like first semester, you're going to learn the basics. Okay, and by the basics, I mean you're going to learn fundamentals, pharmacology, health assessments. Those are really like the three basics and really the fundamentals of nursing fundamentals that you're really going to learn. Now, when I was in my first semester and I was taking like my nursing fundamentals test, I was like, oh my God, this is the hardest thing I have ever dealt with in my life. But it wasn't, once again, it wasn't the content. It was just because Monday we had an exam. What? Today's our first day. Wednesday we had another exam. So it's like the pace is what was making it so difficult. But once I got a hang to it, even though as you go along in nursing school, the courses will get more difficult, but that does not mean that you're still going to be miserable and you're still going to perform not as well just because the material is getting more difficult. No, that's not how it is. The first semester is usually the most difficult. It's just because of the learning curve and the shell shock of nursing school culture. If that makes sense. Okay. Hold on, let me look back and we'll see what y'all say. Orientation is Tuesday. All right. So, what you should also, and it depends on your specific nursing program, but what you should also kind of expect or be expecting is the start of clinicals. I don't know if you guys started, I don't know if your program starts clinicals in the first semester or maybe the second. But my program started clinicals the end of our first semester. And from then on, for the rest of my nursing program, my LPN 12-month nursing program, we did clinicals in every semester. But we got those basic skills first before they let us go into someone's clinical setting. Okay. But like I said, it depends on the program. Generally, you won't go to clinicals, but maybe you will towards the end. All right. So that first semester, that first year is all about gaining the knowledge and getting accustomed to nursing school and how to study in nursing school. All right. As far as like nursing labs, like your skills lab, that's most likely going to come towards the end as well. You have to learn the basics before you can learn the actual skills. Okay. So one of the things that I always recommend. See, I start clinicals in September. That's what Doll says. That is next month. Woo-wee. Britt says we're going early, 4 weeks in. Times are changing. So that's why I just want to make sure that we're all prepared no matter what our program is. Okay. So as far as perfecting your study skills, okay, that's one of the biggest things that people, we said, what are the basics? Yaga, what do you mean, what are the basics? Basics as far as what? But yes, perfect your study skills. And you do that primarily. The first thing you need to do is figure out what your study style is. When you figure out, your learning style. And once you figure out what your learning style is, you can then perfect your study skills. Okay. Just in case you guys did not get my email as far as the different types of learning styles, let me just tell you what the 4 are. There's 4 core learning styles. Visual, me. Auditory, where you listen to like recordings or whatever. Reading and writing, reading your textbook. That's like the basic. That's like the standard. And kinesthetic / tactile. That's when you have to do, when you better understand something, when you like touch or feel it. When you do something that stimulates your senses, primarily like your touch senses, like you have to either act it out or do something activity wise that's going to further it's going to help your comprehension, basically. Let me go to my email 1 second. Wait for it. Wait for it. 1 second. Wait for it. Okay, here we go. So yes, like I said, I'm a visual learner and I'm a kinesthetic. So you can be a combination of both. And a lot of people think that like this is a very minor step, but it's very, very important to know what your learning style is. Okay. Presenting that information focused on your individual learning style is going to honestly be the difference between whether you get it, the girls that get it and the girls that don't. Okay, so no matter what teaching style, like an instructor or your professor has, you can transform that data into something that's better suited for your learning style. Okay, so for example, auditory learners. What you can do if you are an auditory learner, you can take a recorder into class. There's a lot of apps that have like a recording feature. So while you're either taking notes, typing it or something like that, or writing it, while you're taking notes, it's recording what the instructor is saying. Now, I will say that if you are an auditory learner and you want to record someone's lecture, make sure you get permission first, just in case. I don't want nothing crazy to happen. I've seen it happen, so just make sure you get permission first. And then something else that you can do is listen to YouTube videos. All right, you're an auditory learner, so you learn best if you hear it or hear an audio. So you can turn on YouTube on your phone or listen to someone's like video or recording or a podcast and just pop some earphones in, and that's what you can do. If you are another thing that you can do is listen to our NCLEX Jeopardy replays. Just listen to it. If you're a visual learner, you can watch it as well, but it really helps for the visual learners. Auditory. For the visual learners, like I said, what you can do and what I did, which is what made the difference between a successful second semester then on versus a rough first semester for me. I would skim through the textbook. Now, y'all, I hate reading. I cannot stand just sitting there reading. if you're like me, then you would read the same page like 4 times and be like, I don't remember nothing. That is me when it comes to reading. But, you know, your textbook is literally a textbook, so you have to read it. So what I would do is I would go through and I would skim the chapter or skim my readings before going to class. And I would turn diagrams and important facts and all that stuff, and I would turn those words into drawings and diagrams, so that when we get into class and we're going over that topic, not only do I have like I have a better idea of what the objective is and what the actual content is, but now I have a way of really taking that material in, because I already went through it and either drew it out, did some doodles, images, whatever, aka a study kit. That's literally exactly what I did. So I made study kits for myself throughout nursing school. Okay. Nahari said, I started studying already, every day for an hour. Boom. There you go. There you go. But yeah, so turn those words into diagrams, pictures, whatever it is, so that you really understand and you're able to visually connect with whatever the topic is before you actually hear it in class. Okay, so if you're a visual learner like me, my study bundles and my study kits will be like your best friend, because you can still have that textbook and you use it simultaneously with your textbook. Okay, I would never recommend just using, you know, study guides and study aids versus a study like a textbook. Use them both concurrently. Okay. Kinesthetic learners, half me as well. Kinesthetic / tactile says those type of learners benefit from like online learning / digital note taking, because the typing and the tapping of the keys adds that sensory stimulation, which will help them understand it better, if that makes sense. That's the whole thing about kinesthetic and tactile learners. That's like another good avenue for my kinesthetic learners to really excel would be like during lab. Skills lab, all my kinesthetic learners will soar, okay? Because you are almost like monkey see, monkey do, but literally in a skills setting, in a lab setting. So you're able to touch things, you're able to feel things, so you can have a better understanding of whatever it is that you're learning. Next core type is reading / writing. Those type of learners, all right? They benefit from writing notes, rereading the textbook, writing notes, staying organized, planning out everything. I would say keep a planner and a notebook. Whether it's a digital planner, a digital notebook, or a physical one, you can write in with a stylus if it's digital, or classic pen and paper. Okay, take those key notes or key points from those notes and then rewrite them into a notebook, so you can have like a cheat sheet, kind of like a common list of terms or key points, and that's going to be for your added clarification. Okay, so those are our 4 examples of 4 core types of learning. So let me know for that second camp activity due with your learning style, let me know which one resonates with you most. Just select it. It'll take you like 4 seconds. Did I add that thing? Let me add it one more time. And that's the link for you to submit whatever your learning style is and to choose. Okay, let me go back to what I was doing as far as what to expect in nursing school. All right, so as far as perfecting your study skills, like I said, number 1 thing to do is to make sure you know what your learning style is. Then you can start to perfect your study skills. Okay, so figuring out what works for you study-wise is going to be like a trial and tribulation kind of. You have to test it out. Honestly, you have to keep testing. Does this work? Does this work? Does it work better if I do this? But as long as you have that basic understanding and foundation of your type of learning style and what you can do to help you understand the material within that learning style. You can experiment and try out different avenues of studying with that specific style. Okay. Something else that you need to do, make sure you take notes. Any type of downtime that you have, take advantage of it. Okay. Not scaring you, but rest is just as important as studying for whatever exam. All right. I know for me, right when I was in nursing school, it was like a lot of like hustle culture and like I'll sleep when I'm dead type, culture. And people were like, oh, you went to sleep last night? I was up all night studying and remember this. Okay, girl. And now you can't remember shit. now you don't remember anything. But taking advantage of that downtime and resting is super, super, super important. Your mind and your body needs rest and relaxation in order to A, function, and B, function the way you want it to function. All right, especially your brain. Okay, take advantage of study time and take advantage of break time. All right, go smoke some hookah, go out with your friends, something, but you have to plan it out. You have to have a good balance of studying and doing what you need to do and just relaxing and just making sure that you don't burn yourself out. All right, burnout during the first semester, during nursing school period, is so common because you go so hard because you think that's what you're supposed to do. And it's not. It's not. It is a marathon. All right. You're supposed to, how much I'm going to go. Do you know on Android with no timing app is big enough for your files? I can only do it on my iPad because of size. If you have an Android, I think, I got to look that up actually. But you can try like OneNote, Microsoft OneNote, or just any type of PDF annotation app within like the Android store. I think GoodNotes is a good example. GoodNotes 5. But yes, when it comes to when you are on studying, don't overwhelm yourself. Break it up into smaller bits. All right. So I always recommend that when you first get your syllabus, your curriculum, whatever it is, read over it. Okay. Note the dates of assignments that are due, tests that you're going to have, put it on a calendar so that you know, okay, this is me, right? This is where I am. I know in 2 weeks I'm going to have a test on fundamentals. And 1 week I'm going to have a test on pharmacology, yada, yada, yada. So you're able to look into the future and plan out how you're going to study, how long you're going to study, what specifically you're going to study. And then you can go on like that. Okay. So know your body, know how you operate. If you're a morning person, study in the morning. If you are not a morning person and you prefer, like a late night type thing because you're sleeping all day, study in the afternoons, study at night, whatever it is. But go based off of your body, how you are, not what you see Jill doing next to you in class or what you read other people doing. They're talking about their experience that may not work for you. So once again, test out what works for you. Best time to study. How long to study? Somebody asked, how long would I need to study every day? It depends, honestly. I would always say like study for at least an hour every day, but it depends on if you've been studying really every day or if you've, waited till like the last week. So maybe, you have more ground to cover in a less amount of time. So your study sessions have to be longer. It all depends. That's why I always say plan out how it is so that way you won't burn yourself out. Okay. Another thing that people recommend is eliminating distractions when you're studying. I don't know how you guys study, but depending on what distraction is, that's up to you. For me personally, I can't study in silence. I cannot study in silence. I hate it so much. I cannot do it. I can't do it. I will get, and I'm ADHD as hell, I will get so distracted by how silent it is, it doesn't even make sense. So me personally, what I have to do when I'm studying, I have to put on, like, I don't know, like a movie or a show that I've watched a million times, so I won't really pay attention to it, and just turn it on low as background noise. And usually for me, with my studying style, whatever I'm putting on the TV, whether it's a movie, show, whatever, if it coincides with what I'm studying, even better. So for me personally, I put on like Grey's Anatomy, Private Practice, whatever medical show or movie, and especially if they were covering, like, for example, if I was studying cardiology, I would watch all the Yang episodes of Grey's Anatomy. When I was studying maternity, OB, peds, I turned on all the episodes of Addison Montgomery and Private Practice. Sounds crazy, but I aced it. But that's just what I do. Did not work for the person that was next to me, but it worked for me. Okay? Yoli said, for me, I need to blast music. It helps me block everything out. Exactly. And it helps you focus on the material. But if you ask somebody else, they'd be like, I need to study in silence. It's not wrong or right. It's just what's, right or wrong for you. Okay? And then another thing a lot of people ask me as far when they're getting ready to start nursing school, like, oh, when should I start studying for the NCLEX? Day one. As soon as you get your acceptance letter, go ahead and get prepared to study for the NCLEX. Because once again, that is what tripped me, as one of the things that tripped me up during my first semester. I didn't start studying for NCLEX until like maybe second semester, and I felt like a little behind. And it's not because, NCLEX was so far away. That's not what you're studying for. You're not, like, you still need to study for the NCLEX because throughout the entire nursing school program or your nursing program, it's preparing you for the NCLEX. So those like program exams, that your professor gives or whatever the case may be, it's still going to be an exam in style of NCLEX. So the sooner you start to prepare for NCLEX and, learn those test-taking strategies, those study tips, all those things, you can apply that to your everyday nursing school, like, journey and your exams, and that's going to help you, okay? You're going to start to pick up on those strategies, and that's going to help you eat much better in the long run, all right? Wait, I'm looking at what y'all saying. Okay, perfect. Now, another thing, does nursing school get easier or harder? This is a good question. I get this all the time. Let me know down below. Do you guys think it's harder to get into nursing school, stay in nursing school, or get out of nursing school? Test out. Which one do you think is harder? Getting in, staying in, or getting out? Which one is harder? Okay. While y'all let me know, say a bunch of staying in. I agree. Staying in. Absolutely. There's a lot more to nursing school and every nursing program than just memorizing information. They actually don't want you to memorize the information. They want you to understand it and comprehend it. Okay. So that, comprehension requires you to retain a lot of data and be able to critically think as a nurse and apply that knowledge to whatever basic nursing skill that you're learning or that you have. So for some nursing students, school gets easier as they go. For the other ones, school gets more difficult as they go. It differs. It depends on how you are and how your learning style is, and if you're prepared for what's to come. Okay? If you get in your first semester, if you get into like a niche where you understand how to study for your style, like what's the best way for you to study within your first semester, the rest of nursing school is, I won't say it's going to be a breeze, but you have just eliminated like 80% of the hard work. You have eliminated 80% of the hard work. You eliminated the how am I going to do this? And now all you have to do is do it. Does that make sense? Yeah, see, a lot of people saying getting in and staying in. Yeah. And especially because, you have to score a certain percentage or higher on like every exam, or you out. For us, we had to get like, I think like a 70, at least a 75 on every exam. And we had to get a level, I forgot what level it was, like level 3 or something like that on every ATI exam at the end of each content category. So at the end of pharmacology, we had to do a pharmacology ATI exam. At the end of fundamentals, we do a fundamentals ATI exam. So that those two, those are definitely going to learning how to study for those specific things is definitely going to work in your benefit. Let's just say that. Do you get kicked out of if you fail one exam? It depends on your program, but I've seen people that I've like in my cohort, we had like maybe like 5 people that did not pass like a regular semester exam and got kicked out. Like I think they gave them like, you either get 2 or 3 chances to score, I think 2, or to score above a certain level. And if you don't, you out, period. I don't know if it's that way for y'all, but that's how it is for us. All right. So yeah, so there's no denying that nursing school is challenging. It just is. It's nursing school. All right. But preparing for your preparing before you start classes will definitely help make it easier to get through. Use your time to your advantage and stay ahead of your class material. So make sure you plan out your due dates, plan out your assignment dates, plan out when you want to have sex if you want to. But do whatever you need to do to make sure that you have like a grasp on your personal life and your nursing school life, because they're going to coincide. They're definitely going to coincide, and you don't want to have an unhealthy nursing school experience. And I'm going to say this, I'm going to say it again, because it will definitely taint it will taint how you feel about nursing and nursing school, just period. So you want to make sure that you are doing whatever you need to do to, they suck me. But yeah, doing whatever you need to do to have a work life, school life balance, home balance, whatever that looks like to you. Okay. All right. Wait. All right, next thing on the list, common myths of nursing school. I get these myths a lot. Now, a lot of these myths, like I'll get myths about the LPN program, and I'll get myths just about nursing school as a whole. We're going to talk about nursing school as a whole. Okay. My husband, who wasn't listening, ears perked then. Yes. I have to balance being a mom of 2, work, and school. Oh, Lord. I had to balance. No, not kids. But I don't know. I wasn't planning a wedding. I think I got married after nursing school. One of those. But yes, I had multiple classmates that were either planning a wedding, psych, or pregnant and just trying to make a whole human being while doing all the thing with nursing school. So for the person that has, for the people that have kids, I do have some documentation. I do have a reading for you guys about nursing school and kids and what you can do to make it as easy as possible for you and your family. Somebody asked, did you work during nursing school? I did. I did work during nursing school. I did not have the privilege of having mommy and daddy pay for it for me or whatever the case may be. So I definitely had to plan out my finances. When I was going into nursing school, I definitely had to decide on what I was going to do as far as funds. Whether that was like take out a loan, work while in nursing school, whatever the case would be, I had to make those hard decisions for myself and go based off of what worked for me. So I worked on the weekends as a waitress at a restaurant. And I did that for a few reasons. A, free food. Okay. B, the weekend, because I was a server, it was not like I was working all day, every day, unless I requested it. But I wanted to have a job where I can study if I wanted to. So as a server, like, you know those little black, like half aprons where they like get their pens or what they use to like write the order in. I would have like I would have, what are these called? Index cards. Like, when I say a stack of index cards, like a stack of index cards, in my apron. So between tables, between customers, whatever, me running food out to this person and then going to get their drinks, I'll be like, okay, hold on. What are the four? And I would test myself. Or I would give it to my coworker and be like, hey, ask me this question real quick. I even gave it to one of my tables one time, whether that was professional or not. Okay, whatever. I was like, hey, how you doing? Can you give me this question real quick? But that's how I worked and studied at the same time. But that's just me. I had a lot of people that worked as a CNA full-time overnight. Don't know how they did it. But that's an option. Okay? I don't know how they did it. All right, so 5 common nursing school myths. Number 1, a nursing degree means you will automatically get a job. That is a myth. All right. Let me say this. There is and there is not a nursing shortage. There is a nursing, just like in that video said, there are more qualified nurses now than ever before. However, nurses work, especially nurses working bedside, depending on what that bedside is, people aren't just going and just taking whatever job. Nurses are knowing their worth. Are you paying me? If not, then I'm not going to automatically get that job. Like, you see what I'm saying? So nursing degree does not mean you will automatically get a job, but a nursing degree means that you are in a career field where you can get a job. You can get a job that pays you what you're worth. You can get a job that works with your work-life balance. And you can also get a job that has neither of those things. So where the shortage comes in is that people don't want to have their, trade their time for pennies. Does that make sense? Right. So, another thing that you need to decide, I won't even say decide, but eventually you're gonna, when you do clinicals and you get to, work bedside or get to shadow a nurse bedside, you'll be able to decide if you want bedside. There's some people that want bedside, and it's amazing. It's great. We're gonna need bedside nurses. And there's also gonna be people that don't want to work bedside. I'm like, fuck bedside. I want to work remote. I want to work for like an insurance company over the phone. All those different avenues. That is why when you have a nursing degree, your outlook on life is really going to be totally up to you and what you want to do with your life. Whether or not you want to be, home by 5 so you can go to your kids' games. You probably want to go into like a Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 type, job or a remote job, something like that. But if you, want to, if you're maybe like single or no kids, or even if you are married or in a relationship and have kids and you want to be in a specific field, you can do that. Knowledge is everything. Knowing what you want is really going to help. You decide where you're going to go, where you're going to be placed, and what kind of job you're going to get. Don't just accept any and everything just because you're like, oh, this is my nursing job, blah, blah. Do your research, because a lot of people will undercut you just because it's your first nursing job versus, paying you what you're worth because you are a licensed nurse. Does that make sense? This may sound like a crazy question, but can LPNs travel? We sure can. We sure can. We sure can. All right, nursing myth number 2. Nursing is hard. Nursing school is harder than it needs to be to weed out less capable students so that you automatically get a job. That is false. That is a myth. All right. Nursing school is, I don't like to say hard. Nursing school is difficult, but that level of difficulty depends on you as a learner, you as a person, a bunch of factors. Okay. But it's not hard because it needs to weed out the students that won't make it. It's hard because we're learning a lot of complex material in a short amount of time. And it's our decision that's a lot of times going to be life versus death, for a patient. Okay. Another myth. Number 3, once you graduate, your only option is to work in a hospital. Once again, false. A lot of new grads actually want to go into the hospital, and if that's what you want to do, have at it. But like I said, there's a lot of people that want to do other forms of nursing. Like, being a nurse does not mean that you are automatically an RN, because once again, LPNs are nurses as well. And then B, being a nurse does not automatically and exclusively mean that you work in someone's hospital. Like, oh, what floor do you work on, and what hospital do you work for? Just because you're a nurse does not mean you work in a hospital. It's not mutually exclusive. It's just not. If you're a nurse, you can work at urgent care, whether or not you're LPN or RN. You can work at an urgent care, doctor's office. You can work at a surgery center. You can work at a hospital if you want to. If you don't want to, oh well. Nursing home. You can work at a long-term care facility. You can work at a subacute / rehab facility. All those, there's so many different avenues. Dialysis clinic. There's so many different avenues, and not just being someone's staff nurse. If you want to travel, I suggest, getting, I don't suggest traveling right off the bat. I suggest working for at least a year or 2 in whatever setting you want to, and then, being someone's like travel nurse for a hospital. Okay. 4, you can't make a lot of money working as a nurse. Myth. And let me say this right here, right now, because I've been seeing, and I've been getting tagged in a lot of the girls' posts, some of your nursing faves, some of your nursing pages faves, all that. I've been getting tagged in a lot of pay transparency posts, or this is the difference between LPN versus RN type posts, and those posts are just so inaccurate. I can't even take it. Like, they'll be like, oh, this is how much an LPN made. This is how much on average an LPN is making. And it's like numbers from like 2011 or something like that. If y'all see, and I know pay depends on your state, but if y'all see like an average for LPN pay and it's like 40 grand, I'm sorry, that is wrong. That is wrong. Okay. I don't know the last time I've met an LPN or the nurse period, whether it's LPN or RN, that making anywhere less than 60 grand. At least fresh out of school. Okay. So please do not let these little false posts discourage you, thinking you're gonna be out here making like $20 an hour. Good night, girl. Good night. The girls were making that 10 years ago. But no, like, I know plenty of students, plenty of people that I have personally helped through nursing school, pass the NCLEX, and get a job where they're making right under 6 figures. Like, one of my students just passed NCLEX in December and got a job making $93K. Stop playing with us. Like, stop playing with us, okay? So make sure you do your research so you know kind of what to expect as far as pay range, and then B, what you deserve as far as pay range. Okay, do your research. At She's in Scrubs has a, I'm gonna tag it at She's in Scrubs. She has a document, like a Excel document where it's like pay transparency, and it goes by like state and credentials and city, and it'll tell you what their pay transparency Excel sheet. Yeah. So it'll tell you how much they started getting when they started in whatever year versus how much they're making right now today. Okay? And I looked at it myself. Vast difference, okay? Vast difference. Post-COVID, those rates are a thing. They may not be $300 an hour, blah blah blah, but they're damn sure not $20 an hour. So stop playing with us. Put some respect on our credentials, LPN and RN. Okay, we either getting paid too much or getting paid not enough. It's like society does not want to think. But yes, your salary as a nurse depends on your education level, your experience, and whether or not you know what to ask for. I'm gonna say that. Definitely. A lot of times people are not getting paid what they are worth getting paid because they're either afraid to ask or they don't know how to ask. Yeah, make sure you know which one you are. Okay, always ask. Always go in there confident and be and then know what your goal is, because in any business they're going to pay you less. It's a business. They're just gonna pitch you an amount that's less than desirable to see if you're gonna take it, to see if that new nurse that's desperate to get a job are gonna take it. Don't take that fish. Do not take the bait. Okay. And then number 5, nursing school prevents you from having any kind of life. This is a myth. Okay. If you're in nursing school, it does not mean that you have to be miserable forever. That's probably a lot of people's experience, but it's usually because they don't know they did not prepare properly. Like I said, if you are known to have a social life, or, you want to do something socially or with your family, and you feel like nursing school is always going to deter you from that, then that is a myth that I need you to dead right now. Okay. Not saying that you can go to brunch every Saturday with your girlfriends, but to say that you can't go to no brunch ever for the whole your whole nursing school career is just false. And that thinking is going to be what like hyper kicks you into burnout and being like, fuck this shit, I don't want to do this. Make sure you have that work-life balance, that school-life balance. Let me look what y'all saying. So yeah, everybody has hectic schedules. Your schedule is your schedule when you're in a nursing school versus your schedule when you're an actual nurse and working. They're both going to be very, very hectic. Okay, it's up to you. What is with this countdown? It's pissing me off. But it's up to you to be able to determine what you can do with your free time and how you're going to enjoy that time. If you have like a week off, if you have a couple days off, whatever, yeah, you can use that to study, but you should not be just solely studying. You will be miserable if you do that. So incorporate some fun into your life. Incorporate some fun when you're studying. Like it's not mutually exclusive. I'm in nursing school, so I have to be miserable and I can't have no fun. That's not accurate at all. Okay, so those are common myths. That's kind of what to expect. I'm also going to email you guys the PDF versions of all these things that I'm talking about. So what to expect in nursing school and common myths. I'll definitely be emailing that to you guys so you can have some reading to get done. As far as our giveaway winners, since I have 45 seconds. These are our giveaway winners. Stephanie P, Keshara R, and Triana P. Congratulations. You ladies have won a free copy of the Nurse Life Digital Planner. Congratulations. Remember, every week we're going to have a giveaway. This one was for week 1. I'm going to let y'all know now. Week 2's giveaway is going to be 3 people are going to win stethoscopes. And not like poo stethoscopes, like